Hello and welcome to NCAA Bowling. We're going to talk about the bowl games, and this is our second installment of this. And I'm John.
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Josh.
And we're going to talk about beginning in December 26th. We'll start with the Heart of Dallas Bowl, and we got Illinois versus Louisiana Tech.
Now, do you remember last year, Louisiana Tech played Texas A&M?
Yeah.
And it was like a really high-scoring shootout, and they almost beat Texas A&M. So that's why I'm choosing Louisiana Tech in this game.
All right. And they're 8-5, and
Right.
Illinois is 6-6. So,
But Illinois plays in the Big Ten.
They do.
Louisiana Tech, Terry Bradshaw, whatever that Duck Commander guy's name, played there. I'm going Illinois.
Okay.
I think they're tougher.
All right. There you go. Now, Quick Lane Bowl in Detroit, we have Rutgers versus North Carolina. So, an ACC matchup.
Yeah, Rutgers, I don't think obviously they didn't.
Wait, Rutgers
Rutgers
is
Big Ten. They moved from
Rutgers,
Big East.
this is their first year in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
That's impressive. 7-5.
7-5 in the first year.
They didn't do bad. They did better than Illinois did.
Yeah.
They've been in there for a long time. But North Carolina, I'm going to have to go with Rutgers. I feel like I'm impressed that they did this good in the first place. Obviously, they're not doing as good as some other teams like Louisville. TCU's been in there for like 2 years or 3 years now. Both of those teams in their conferences are doing better than people expected. Rutgers just doing subpar, but subpar, it is the Big Ten. It's a good conference.
Sure.
I'm going to have to go with Rutgers.
I like Rutgers. Offensive coordinator Ralph Friesen, used to coach at Maryland, head coach of Maryland. He's there. He's done a good job with their offense. But I think North Carolina has come on strong. They were a team that really struggled early on, but their offense has found its groove.
Yeah.
Marquise Williams, the quarterback. I think they can score points. They put a lot of points on Notre Dame, although everyone else did too. But I like North Carolina's
Except
offense.
for Florida State.
If that's a dome, in a dome, I like North Carolina. Fast.
Yeah, I think it's because like all the teams throw everything they got at Florida State and then just die out after playing. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why Florida State keeps struggling. Anyways, moving on.
All right, so now let's go to the St. Petersburg Bowl down in St. Petersburg, Florida. You got North Carolina State, and they're going to be playing against the
UCF.
Knights, UCF.
I kind of feel like UCF got cheated in this one because they were 9-3. I feel like they deserved a better team than NC State.
Well, their only losses, you remember, were two. It was Missouri, it was a tough opponent, as well as Penn State. So two bigger teams. They did lose to UConn. That's their loss.
Okay, that was a major joke.
This
for sure.
This terrible.
Yeah.
But this game, it cost them an outright shot at title. If they won that game, they would have the title by themselves.
Yeah.
They did still get a share. UCF in this game, NC State, Jacoby Brissett looks good at quarterback, but I think UCF, they can run the football.
I'm going with UCF too. They're
just a tough team.
Solid team. Obviously, not against UConn, but besides that, they can play and they can compete.
And let's not forget, this was an hour and a half from UCF, so they're going to bring a contingent of fans. I've been to this game before, watched them get smacked around by Rutgers 2 years ago. UCF should have a home field.
Okay, go UCF.
All right. Now, let's move up to Annapolis, Maryland, and we've got the Military Bowl, and you've got Cincinnati, you've got the Bearcats. They're going to be facing off against the Hokies.
Which one of these is in the military?
Well, yeah, why is this not already? Okay.
Didn't Virginia Tech have a lot of military?
Yes, they have a corps of cadets and they bought tickets for them.
Yeah.
The thing that I like about this matchup that's interesting, Whit Babcock. Nobody knows his name. I barely know his name. He was a former athletic director at Cincinnati. Virginia Tech's retired last season, so they hired away Cincinnati's athletic director. So there's a little bit of, I wouldn't call it bad blood, but there's a little bit of interesting there.
I like that.
They've got a little bit of history. You know, Cincinnati beat Virginia Tech a couple years ago. Virginia Tech beat them in the Orange Bowl a couple years ago. Long before that, 1995. Right. Cincinnati blanked. The last time Virginia Tech got shut out, lost 22-0 again at home against Cincinnati. So it's got a little rivalry here.
Yeah.
I like Virginia Tech. I think whenever they play their best teams this year, they've rose to the occasion. I think they do it again.
I don't.
Uh-oh.
I don't think. I want Virginia Tech to win. I do, but I don't think they can beat Cincinnati. 6-6. Virginia Tech barely made it into a bowl game. They played well when they needed to. I just don't see. I understand that they can play well. I guess it depends on whether or not Virginia Tech comes in and actually plays the football they can play.
Yeah.
So I changed my mind. I am going to go with Virginia Tech. Keep switching my mind over and over again here. Virginia Tech.
Well, all I can say is this is one of the best games for the players because each player from each team gets an Xbox One.
And I'm pretty sure, what did they say, headsets, right?
Yeah, I noticed that some of the teams get some really good stuff and some.
I'm going to purposely lose just to make it a good
You're Now, which bowl game do I really want to go to? Okay, now the next one in El Paso is the Sun Bowl, and you have Arizona State playing against Duke.
This is an
So there you
interesting
go. You
matchup.
got a
9 and 3, 9 and 3.
in ACC. So
Arizona
what we
State's
got?
definitely the better team.
Sure.
Um,
Duke is well coached though. They
Yeah,
generally
they are.
don't make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
I think talent-wise, Arizona State's got to beat them.
last year, Duke almost beat Texas A&M too.
Yeah, so just take that into consideration. Coach Cutcliffe can coach his boys up good for a bowl game.
I'm going with Duke. I'm going to go with the team. I said in the beginning of the year that Duke would win that side of the ACC. Did they? No, they didn't. So Tech did.
Yeah.
That was wrong. But 9 and 3, not bad.
No, it's not bad.
Sun Bowl, hot, Sun Devils, Arizona State.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah, I like the
There-
way you add
Used to the hot.
together.
Okay, now we're going to go to Shreveport, Louisiana, and for the Independence Bowl, you have Miami, Florida, who's used to the hot heat as well,
Sure.
and they're going to go against South Carolina. So what's
5
going to
years
happen
ago,
with
this would have
the
been a little more exciting.
5 years ago? Yeah,
Honestly,
both of
any
these
year-
teams are 6 and 6.
Any year
both
but
of these
this.
teams have struggled tremendously this year. What do we think is going to happen with this
Well,
one?
I don't know if anyone's going to show up because Louisiana's kind of far for both these teams.
Yeah.
Miami doesn't travel at all. South Carolina maybe, but
Yeah. Maybe there will be some bored people in Shreveport.
underlying storyline interesting. Steve Spurrier, former Florida Gator, does not like Miami going against the Canes. I'm going to take Miami. South Carolina's.
I'm going to take
down.
Steve Spurrier. Just
All right,
because it's Steve
you know,
Spurrier.
the Duke, the game
coach of
Cox
football
can
team.
take this one.
They better win.
All right, now let's go up to where it's cold in
Okay.
New York and Pinstripe Bowl, and we've got Boston College going to play at Penn State.
Now,
Who's going to win this one?
Penn State, honestly, both of these teams look really strong at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, that's true.
Boston College lost to Colorado State, and that basically ended it for them. And Penn State, I don't know what happened with Penn State. So both of these teams definitely
Penn
have
State
gone
could win some
downhill.
games,
Yeah.
or they could just.
They've gone
Too
downhill
bad.
since the beginning.
So, sure.
I'm going to go with Boston College. I feel like they can run the ball pretty
Yeah.
well. And if you have a run game and you can actually run the ball, that normally means you have a better chance, especially I think in bowl games, running teams have a good chance of being able, because of the rest of the offensive line, everybody's rested, just run it straight up the gut.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't say Hackenberg has regressed for Penn State, but it's been a rough year. He's been hit, beat up a lot. I think Boston College got a mobile quarterback. He kind of opens things up for the running lane. So I think Boston College. But it's cool. This game's played at Yankee Stadium, right?
Yeah,
The baseball.
yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
interesting.
It is
So
interesting.
both of us think Boston College will win it.
All right, and our final game for this installment is the Holiday Bowl in San Diego, and we've got Nebraska, who's going to face off against number 24 USC.
Can we wrap our mind around this real quick?
All right.
Okay, Wisconsin demolishes Nebraska.
Yes.
And then Ohio State demolishes Wisconsin. And I mean, I don't know what that means for Nebraska.
Well, obviously, if you've got a run team,
Sure.
if you've got a team that can run the ball, Nebraska's in trouble.
Which I don't think USC is really known for their run game.
Now, that's true. I'm not sure this year that's what they're known for, and so maybe, I don't know, maybe it could be a battle.
All I can say is, if this were in the 1980s, this would be like the national
Oh,
championship.
it
Because
would.
every year it was,
Yeah.
Nebraska. Or,
Yeah.
But
This year,
this year,
Not so
Bo
much.
Pelini getting fired at Nebraska is a huge thing to consider. How motivated will the players be?
What's the Abu, right? That the Nebraska running back?
Abdallah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Something. He's really good. I'm gonna go with Nebraska. The dude can run
Yeah, I
the
can't
football.
even think of
He's
his name.
been rested. He's gotten his rest. Being rested.
He's being
gotten his
rested.
rest. Hopefully they can bounce back.
I'm saying USC.
Okay.
Why not? We're in San Diego, California.
It's in California.
All right, that's it for our second installment. Stick around for our third.